afternoon. I'm Regina Mallett with Lord Senior Community and Lord's Institute for Senior Care Excellence. With our commitment and passion to actually bring social services into our senior communities, I've searched out and found Kids Standard Magazine. As being a board member there, I've had the opportunity to work with Maggie Rasnar, who is the founder of Kids Standard Magazine. Now, Kids Standard Magazine has been around for over 3 years, and it definitely isn't where it started. So Maggie, could you please tell us exactly what's been going on with Kids Standard Magazine?
Sure, Regina. Thank you for the questions. You know, I started Kids Standard publication for the love of my own kids. In 2005, my children were so much into electronics and the digital world, I was afraid that they're never going to learn to communicate or read and write, and they had more passion about their video game than anything else. And as you relate, a lot of other parents had the same you know, concern about their kids. So what I had in mind, I didn't have a you know, mind to start a magazine, but you know, I wanted them to get more into communication, writing and reading. So if they had watched the cartoon, I wanted them to write review about it, or they played the video game, I wanted them to write about the characters and how it affects their day. And so soon, you know, after my kids started doing that, and they started sharing it with their friends and a lot of other parents, they liked the idea to do the same with their children. So that was our first publication, came out in Syracuse, New York in 2005. 3 years ago, we started in Clarkston, Michigan, and with the schools, and you know, the first publication came out. So it's been a great experience. A lot of educators are supporting it, parents are supporting it, even community members. So we're really excited that we are on the right path. Yeah.
That's awesome. Being a mother myself, I have had the experience of watching my children go through different phases and using that opportunity as a way to push them in a direction that would help enhance their lives. And in saying that, there's tons of camps out there, writing programs as well. What would make Kids Standard a little bit different?
What makes Kids Standard different, this is the only magazine that's written by kids for kids. So just that alone, kids feel the pride that their work being published, so they put more, they have purpose, you know, they put more their own intuition when they're writing. So, you know, they know it's going to be read by their friends, family, teachers, and parents. And so that alone, I think it drives them to have more pride, to work harder for their writing. And another reason that makes it different, a lot of these children, they walk around the school, as I hear, they walk around and say, hey, you know, I'm a published writer. So, you know, that kind of encourages other children to say, hey, you know, I want to be published in the magazine. So it's giving good influence to other kids too.
I like that. It's something to be said about when you spark someone's confidence like that.
Right.
So when you think of the writing skills that you get when you participate in Kids Standard Magazine, what other opportunities, what other things actually help in developmental processes for the children in your program?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So when I started the publication, I was the one who was encouraging the kids to write it. And then once we started working with schools and making it even bigger, we realized that, you know, teachers didn't want to add another program to their work because, you know, they have such a short time and they have to accomplish so much. And parents, if they're working so hard, they come home, they don't want to deal with, you know, pressuring their kids, hey, you got to write for the magazine, you know. So that's why we started the after-school program. We started a club, we call it Multimedia Expression, in all the schools we work with. We're in 11 school districts. And so we have 1 hour program after school where it takes place in the library or lab. And that's where the kids sign up and they come into the program, and they need to commit themselves for 25 weeks. But the goal for those students is to be published. And what makes our program different, we have trained, we train high school students to work with younger kids. That really, you know, fulfilled two purposes. One, it's a great experience for high school students. It's a good resume builder for them. And also, it's a great experience for younger students to learn from their not so much older person, you know. So that age, there's not too much age difference. So you see the elementary students, they really look forward to seeing the high school students. And how we choose the high school students, we choose selective people. We interview them. It's an interview process, and as well as we train them to make sure they are being a right mentor for younger kids. And one of the most important things we're doing in our club after school program, we use 21st century skills. So we use, we have a map mind board kind of. So we usually put it on the table and have the students going around, you know, sitting around the table. And we have one mentor per group. And what they do, they write down what's in their mind, and they learn how to communicate among each other through visible thinking, and also bring what's in their thought to writing in that mind map. And so if, for instance, they're working on a you know, next issue, they're writing something, everyone shares their idea. So they're learning how to collaborate, communicate. And also on each topic that they write, we teach them another skill, critical thinking. So, okay, let's say, you know, you want to go to Asia and write down all the reasons. Think like, you know, constantly asking why, which kids are really good at that, you know. So we want to encourage them to dig deeper. So these students, they're learning those 21st century skills, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and their confidence is built. Many students talk about how this program had built their confidence. Now they could raise their hand in the class, not worrying about what others think, because they're more prepared. Their level of thinking, it's, you know, they know how to think, how to put things together. So that's what makes our program different. And the people, also the teachers who are overseeing the program, they're trained on 21st century skills. So it's not just, you know, we're just hiring people and putting them in place. So it's very unique.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's actually ingenious being a mother and a parent that works. Sometimes you feel a little guilty. And being able to have an after-school program where they're actually learning, that builds so much confidence and security in you that you can really do the twofold, the parent and work the career so that you can provide for them. And with that being said, I love how you said that they use creative, critical thinking, and also collaborate. But it's beneficial not only to the students that participate, but also the high school students that also are participating. It's a two-way street there. With that being said, your program has so many different components to it. Can you tell me who you're working with in your program to help bring all this to fruition?
Sure. I mean, you know, I started myself with this program. My background is engineering, metaphysical sciences, and, you know, I have a lot of different certificates, but, you know, I am also a lifelong learner. So I have taken certification on visible thinking, and, you know, I attended Project Zero programs just because I'm interested. I want to know, you know, I want to keep up with the 21st century skills, you know. And the people who are in our board are the same way. And we have Irina Bocas. A lot of people are familiar with her. She is actually an author, and she's a professor at a couple of different colleges, and she worked with, she was a presenter at Project Zero, and also she wrote a book, building powerful learning. So, she has good credential to be part of our board.
Absolutely.
We have Rosie Richardson, who is also, she works with Oakland University with college readiness. And we have Sandra Ritter. She's a retired U of M education director. So, and we have you. And, we are working with people who really care about education.
Yes.
And they care about kids and their community, because youth are the future.
Absolutely.
And having the collaboration with the group that are the mastermind, it's great to help the kids to have that pathway. And we have another meeting coming up next week, so we're inviting a group of young professionals to join us. Because they always have creative ideas that could help our organization to go forward. And we also added a bunch of other programs, because as we work with high school students, we see the need for mentorship, college readiness, and a lot of other programs that, that's for another time to talk about. But, we're constantly learning what we could do to improve, but we're doing it also with fun. Like for our after school programs, it's actually a fun program. It's not like you gotta sit down and be quiet and, kids look forward to it. Same thing with the students who are mentoring from high school. They're enjoying coming in and being important and, leading a group of younger kids. So yeah, that's, those are the people who are behind this. And we have big goals, lofty dream for this organization. Right now we are, in 11 school districts, and we're working with a lot of elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. But our goal is to have our program in every school in Oakland County, and eventually to the whole Michigan, and take it nationwide. So that's our plan.
Maggie, that is great. I actually was going to ask you, so where do you envision it? But you told me already.
Yeah.
So thank you. Your board meetings and even sitting with you here today, you have sparked such a passion in me. I actually started off teaching when I first graduated from Michigan State University, so I have a love for youth, love for learning as well. But now to be able to have the opportunity to be on the board, I can only see that it'll be destined for greatness. So
great.
I'm looking at very near future, every month we'll do TV shows. It may not be me all the time, but you'll learn about Kid Standards. So we ask that you continue to check in and watch us on the station. Also, check out the Facebook page and any type of social media that we may have. We look for people who are interested in being a part of the initiative. So at all means, please contact Maggie too as well. Thank you so much and have a great afternoon.